are with the Omega Level Nerds. D Square. I don't know if he ever tells you to get in the chopper. Get in it now. Come kill me. I'm here. J100.
Her.
Yeah,
she was.
I can holler at her. I gotta fight Cyclops and Wolverine to get that Jean Grey. Never mind, forget all that. I'm gonna hit up.
Right, exactly.
Jelly Rose.
But I'm very, very looking forward to a Doctor Doom that does not suck. I'm actually looking forward to more figures since I do collect them.
And Volsker. Naked.
You know what's funny is I was about to say, could it be that Marvel Girl looks like she's trying to get Twitch viewers?
Yeah, exactly. Are gonna get real nerdy for you real nerds. Hello there and welcome to the Omega Level WandaVision podcast. I am D Square, and with me, of course, also is J100, Jelly Rose, and Volsker. How is everybody doing on this Super Bowl Sunday? So I guess we can declare, since this will be on Monday, the winners, of course, Tom Brady, the Tampa Bay Tom Brady's. So congratulations, sir, oldest quarterback in the league, tearing it up. But hey, we got some real nerdy stuff to talk about, though. So let's get out of the sports arena. So like I said, WandaVision, right? All podcasts are WandaVision these days. You just can't get around it. But the way this show is structured, it's like made perfect. Lots to talk about, lots to observe. But we actually got an interesting twist this week here on the Omega Level Nerds, and we have a meh rating in the group, so we'll talk about that. But of course, Wanda is Jelly's favorite character, so I like to throw it to you. How did you like this week? What were your thoughts?
So I watched it, I think Saturday? I can't remember when I watched it, either Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I enjoyed it, but it was more of, figuring things out a little bit more than anything with this episode. There wasn't anything like, there was a couple little things that was like, oh, but, like, I'm kind of met on it too. Like, I enjoyed it, but...
okay.
Like, the biggest thing was the ending. That was kind of like, how are they going to do that? Like, we talked about it last week, like, what if they did this?
Yeah.
And then it happened, and it was kind of like, me and Hubs was talking, and it was just like, I don't understand how they're roping this in, what the explanation's going to be. If anybody else wanted to really explain the episode, because I forgot it.
Well, I can definitely do that. I mean, that's really interesting to hear. But
I've been busy this weekend, so it kind of like phased through my head, and it's like, I watched this, I forget what happened.
Okay. Okay, well, so, I mean, let's kind of go through it, because I really, really enjoyed this episode for a couple of different reasons. I mean, a prediction you had, Jelly, came true. And that, of course, is that we learned that Wanda did indeed infiltrate SWORD and take Vision's corpse. And so
I told y'all she took his corpse, and I forgot about that until you said that.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm here for.
I told you that she took his freaking corpse and reanimated it.
Yep. So,
and it was very interesting to see why he was in pieces, though, because when Thanos ripped it, he just ripped it straight out of his head.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything to his body. So why was he in pieces like that?
Right. Well, and so that suggests that they were doing something to the body. And so when I don't know who the main guy of Sword here. I just call him McShittyface. That's calling her a terrorist and arming the drone. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, but nonetheless, chances are, they're blaming Wanda. Oh, you're his living will. You're violating it, and it's like, no, I think maybe you guys were. And so that in itself pissed
Possibly.
Wanda off. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
Mr.
So
I want a promotion
yeah,
over there.
yeah, McShittyface. And so we learned that we also something we mentioned that got repeated on the show, hex magic.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned hex. So that was cool because this episode is actually half and half. We get to see the WandaVision show, which that's interesting in itself because we get to see that Agnes, who I am at this point after this episode, convinced that is Agatha from the comic books, which is a witch that actually from the Salem witch trial. She survived all that, but nonetheless, she's involved with Wanda and Vision creating the children. So she's in this show as Agnes, it's Agatha Harkness in the comics.
Funny
And
thing that you said that. If you go back to the very first episode, remember when she was talking about her husband's only happy and can only remember they punched in that date for their
Yeah.
anniversary. It's the Salem witch trials.
Yeah, yep, exactly. So
And I was just reading about the Salem witch trials in my book club.
Oh, yeah, that whole crappiness. Here's the deal. We're going to throw you in water. If you drown, oh, we were wrong, sorry. And if you don't, you're a witch and we're going to burn you. Some bullshit.
And because it's America, somehow it was black people's fault.
Right.
I don't know, but that's what happened.
Exactly.
That's what happened.
So yeah, we get to see more of the WandaVision show. We get to see the twins, which I actually thought was like a cool moment. They're like taking care of the kids and all, they're bouncing them up and down, trying to get them to sleep. It was a really endearing moment. But Vision starts to see things like unfoil. He's starting to understand. He's at work and he discovers that Wanda is keeping people here, against their will. Like they're worried about their families, when Vision is somehow able to take people out of the spell. So Vision is someone that Wanda does not seem to have complete control over. And he the jig is up. He knows what's going on, and they start to have a discussion about it, and like the credits start to roll, and he's like, "No, you will not," So that was really, it's just really interesting to see Vision start to come to understand things. But then the twins. So the twins basically are aging rapidly, but they seem to be controlling it now. Like they are controlling, like, hey, can we get a puppy? When you're 10 years old. They grew up to 10 years old. But
I found it very weird when they, their puppy, died from eating flowers, azaleas.
Yeah, which is poisonous to, yep.
How they tried to age themselves up,
Right.
And she's like, no, you can't do that. You can't run away from, your problems. Not everything's forever. People die. And it's like, wait a minute. We just went over Vision dying. You not being able to hang it.
Trust me. Okay, just what is this? Where are we? How did you even have how are you doing this right now? You need to take your own advice.
Exactly.
Funny thing about that plant too is if you go back to the first episode as well, Agnes gave her one of those plants that's in the window of their house.
Right. Yep. Yeah, Agnes is totally in it somehow,
Well, you could tell, like in the thing that I was
she
waiting
messed
for you
up
to
her
mention.
line.
Yeah, and that's what kind of broke Vision out when she was just like, "Oh, should I take her from the top?" And he's like, What the fuck did she just what?
Right.
What? Oh, don't worry about it." So she's definitely controlling or doing something, and something is definitely up with that chick.
No, I could agree with it because it seems like they might be in some sort of cahoots or something as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah,
Or
like
she's in control of Wanda.
well, could be or somebody else, and I'll definitely we're gonna be doing some conjecture about this. I can assure you, but definitely let's keep going through the highlights here of the episode. So all that right, all that stuff, it's all breaking down. But so the twins, I want to go back to them for a minute. So not only are they like aging themselves up for convenience, but they again don't seem to be controlled by Wanda. Like that's very interesting to me. So we've got Agnes, Vision, and the twins are so far like the only people I see that she is not in complete control of, and that
Do you
is
think that may be
interesting.
on purpose though? Like trying to right her wrongs and let the kids be kids and act like on their own free will?
I mean,
Like
could be anything
I kind of got that too. Like she was, you know, not
holding back.
really. Well, one. Well, okay. Let me back up. No, I think that it's a surprise to her. I think in actuality, what it is, it's a surprise to her that they have the ability to like know what's up.
Mhm.
I think that's what's getting her to realize that like, oh shit, maybe it is going a little bit too far. So
Hmm.
let me go handle these motherfuckers right quick outside, and then I'm gonna come back over here and fix what's going on over here because I think I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, yeah. So you alluded to it, Jay. So McShitty Face, well in Monica Rambeau too. Although Monica Rambeau was ignorant of a fact here, but they built this drone that they could then send in. It survived. They could actually they got a live feed of Wanda and her kids. They try to communicate with her, specifically, Monica Rambeau, and it just, it doesn't work. So we find out that McShitty Face armed the drone and is like, take the shot. Like he's trying to assassinate Wanda. Well, that doesn't work out at all.
She goes full Wanda.
Yeah, and then I love this scene where after that goes down, they're like, oh, here comes a breach. They all run out, and she just comes walking out of the fucking force field, dragging the drone. She's made it look like a Tony Stark drone, thrown it at him, and yeah, is basically, fuck you, get out of here. I got everything I want, so I'm telling you this one time, get the fuck out of here.
That's the only time in the show so far, and actually since Age of Ultron, she has talked with her accent.
Yep, accents are back. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about. I think it's cool. I mean, up
Do
at
you
the
know why she doesn't, actually? I just found that out today. Weird, cool fact is if you watch some of these special commentary
Mhm.
on, I can't remember which movie, I think it was Infinity Wars, they actually said that Natasha taught her to change her voice to better hide when she's on missions. Because
Mm.
soon as she talked with the Russian accent, people will know exactly who she is.
Right, right. Yep. I didn't know that actually, but that's cool that they gave that backstory. Otherwise, because yeah,
And I was gonna say it like in the same vein from like a or put like a real I don't know perspective on it. Um, I'm going through the because Disney Plus has timeline order of the MCU like
yeah,
as a playlist or whatever. So I'm at Black Panther that far deep into the timeline. I had shit to do. I've been sick and having to quarantine at home
yeah.
for the last 2 weeks. So I just watched Civil War like literally like 2-3 hours ago, and that whole thing was about hey, we got a plan for everybody, but Wanda, she gonna stay right here. And there was this one part, in Civil War where Tony makes a pretty logical point that, it's kind of hard to get a weapon of mass destruction through customs. You know what I mean? Because she's an immigrant from Sokovia. So, being how America is, he's got a point. I mean, you can't leave, I guess basic mainstream what America is out of the MCU, because the MCU, outside of its superheroes and Thanos and shit, kind of adhered to the basic common knowledge of the United States of America. So pretty sure that if you put the Sokovian magic unstable murder monster slipping through the doors, I don't think America would have some a good idea about that. So if there was a part of this episode for me, it is this is the reason why I'm kind of going in on it a little bit. This is probably the best part of the episode to me. I was like, oh, she's using the accent. Okay, all right. Well, maybe this is a little more spicy than I've been. Because I don't know. I'm waiting for y'all to get through your little praise, and then I'm gonna shit all over your praise.
Okay.
Because I mean, like, I'm not like shit all over it, like, nah, but like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I missed something in the episode, but
okay, sure.
This part was great. I like this part. This part was the best part.
Yeah, because of course, McShittyface is out there, and he's got all these, armed personnel around him, and they're got his, all their weapons downrange on her. And she just then, you kind of see the red glint in all of their eyes, and she just does this cool move where she's just like, boom.
All right, I'm out this bitch.
Right. And as she turns around, just that bitch,
See you motherfuckers later, man.
And then all the guns train on McShitty. Yeah. But yeah, all the guns train on McShittyface, and she walks back in. Here's what I am really interested in. And I guess to me, this episode is all about the little details and what could be. Because as she walks back into the dome, whatever you want to call it, it goes from the tricolor TV static to red.
Like pure red.
It almost looked like the Phoenix was coming out. Like, I got a feeling. But I don't know. I got like a Mephisto feeling there. I don't know. It was red, but I know that's also Wanda's color. But I don't know. And we'll talk about Mephisto here in a little bit.
That's not the only inkling that we got of him potentially being involved.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the just an awesome scene.
Can we also point out the fact that before this took place, the way that Monica disregarded getting Captain Marvel involved?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like, what happened there? Because she was like, no.
She was really shitty about it. Like, something happened.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, I guess it was more of her mom that may have had the relationship, but
well, no, she had the cute was it Lieutenant Terrible or whatever. They had nicknames for each other. Like she's seen that as her aunt.
Right.
Like
yeah, that is
maybe
weird.
She kind of felt that she didn't help her mom enough or something. Like there's some sort of resentment or something.
MCU and Marvel been doing some shit. For the Kree Wars and shit.
That totally reminds me, I forgot to touch on this part that they showed. This is earlier in the episode, but so when Monica came out of the WandaVision show back into reality, she still had the clothes on that, she had in the show. So she changed from the modern clothes to the 1960s, and when she came out, she was still 1960s. And they were actually discussing the power level here of Wanda, because they figure out that this isn't even an illusion. She is actually changing physical matter, and they know this because they discover that the suit that she went into, which they said it was like 70% Kevlar, Well, this 1960s garb is, it's bulletproof, just like the
Yeah,
Kevlar
her
suit.
vest basically like merged with the whole outfit.
Right. So it's still the vest, it's still the suit, but it's just been changed physically now to look like 1960s gear.
I mean,
And Wu was
why
like,
didn't they figure that out like last episode though?
Yeah.
With the jump rope when they're putting the cable in with the B guy, because obviously, what actually happened to him? Did he get shot back out? I don't think we've seen what actually happened to him.
no, not at all. He came up out of the manhole and he ran down the street. But she did look
Right.
at him and she was like, no.
Right, but what happened to him after?
Yeah, we still don't know.
He's probably caught in there.
Last thing we know, Wanda did look at him and she was like, no. She could have,
Right.
but they
But
didn't
when
mention.
she did that to Monica, she got shot straight
Yeah.
the fuck out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
like, what happened to B guy?
Yeah, we could see him
We'll
come
try
back.
to kill them. Bitch, would you say bitch?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's so other than that, there's a huge surprise at the end. Again, Wanda and Vision are having a discussion as he's starting to just really put everything together. But then they're discussing this. And Vision notices, like, every time they kind of start to go down this road, or Wanda says, hey, I need some help, the doorbell rings and there's Agnes. So that kind of happens again. And Vision's like, and Wanda's like, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. She goes to the door, and then you see the back of somebody's head. I thought my very first thought, as they're panning down, when you can just see the silver hair, I thought, oh shit, that's Magneto. But then when it pans down, you see the more darker hair. I was like, oh, that's Quicksilver. That's Pietro Maximoff. And then we learn it's the actor from the Fox X-Men movies. What's his name? Something Evan?
Was it Peter?
Peter Evans, yeah.
Yeah.
But he goes by, actually, in the Fox verse, they named him Peter because they were in America instead of Pietro.
Right. And it happens to Colossus and others. So we have the Fox. Well, okay, I was about to say we have the Fox X-Men universe Quicksilver now in the MCU, but it's not him. Because this guy in the show, he's speaking in an accent, and the guy from Fox is American. So we know right away. But Darcy does say she recast she recast Pietro.
Did you guys freeze frame by any chance? That shot?
No? What we got? What'd you find out?
Pietro's arm is red in the mirror behind Wanda in the show.
What?
It
arm
reflects
is
a red
red?
hand. Mephisto.
Okay. I did not catch that, but
I didn't catch it either, and everybody over TikTok, everybody's like freeze framing it, and there's a glimpse of red on his hand.
Because she seemed very surprised.
Mm-hmm. And she knew who it was. She didn't even think.
We somebody is doing something, but like I don't understand how she's recognizing him as her brother if obviously her brother is dead and that's not her brother.
Yeah.
So I have two theories. Either the Mephisto with the red hand, or this could be her first opening of the multiverse.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking, is that she's creating a nexus, but he seemed to be going along with everything. So, yeah, Mephisto was definitely, even without knowing or not noticing, damn, and I watched this thing twice too, and I still didn't notice that.
It's really quick. Like, people had to literally freeze frame shot for shot.
Damn, is that how I gotta start watching this show?
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. Where do you see it? It's in the mirror?
Yeah. Behind her.
Oh shit. Oh, I fucking missed it. God damn it.
All right. Well, there we have it. So yeah, I definitely think this is now don't get me wrong, because a part
That's a reach.
is it okay. I think
It's a
Marvel's
reach.
trying to set. I think Marvel could be trying to do a fake out because we're all Mephisto, Mephisto, Mephisto. Oh, we all are comic nerds. We all got it mapped out. But they could be willing to do. I don't want to say an Iron Man 3, but
Oh
they
God! If listen, don't. I even watched it again with this whole thing, and I'm the whole time. Oh, every scene. The only thing that saved Iron Man 3 was Don Cheadle's jokes. Oh,
yeah. Don Cheadle is awesome.
that's it.
My Discord froze.
Yeah.
I tagged you in a post on Twitter, D. It has that picture on it. But with just Jay, and I can agree to your point that can be a reach, but it just seems everything placed in this show.
I'm sure
like-
that he's gonna be involved. I just don't think that scene right there. You have to freeze frame it that fast or whatever. I don't know. It didn't even, to be honest with you, it looked like remember in The Mandalorian where they had that one, like it was like the boom mic guy in the scene or whatever. I think
Yeah.
if anything, it's like something
or
like
the
that.
Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right. So I'm sure Mephisto is coming because I mean what they're about to do with Spider-Man, what any Doctor Strange movie is going to end up being, what they're leading up to in the show. Because listen, well, I think I was watching Emergency Awesome, but so WandaVision is like a few weeks after the end of
Yes.
Endgame, and the Spider-Man movie is like 8 months after.
Mhm.
So like what's transpiring to me, I think that what they're gonna do is whatever the season finale for WandaVision is gonna be like, whole shit, what the fuck? And then they're gonna go to Winter Soldier and Falcon, and that's gonna be like, oh shit, what the fuck? And then they're gonna go to Loki. You see what I'm saying? And then a movie gonna come out.
Yeah.
A movie, not Black Widow, but like a movie. You see what I'm saying? So
Hey,
like
Black Widow might still have something crazy. We don't know.
and I'm sure. I'm definitely sure. And again, going back through all of these movies, again, recently, right now, an hour ago, I that's what they did last time. So, I just think that's why for me this episode was just kind of meh. Because it's like, nah, at this point, I just give me the season finale. That's what I'm ready for. Like all these twists and turns. I'm like, all right, cool, great, yeah, good, yep. The kids, they're cognizant of their powers. Agatha, something's really up. All right, cool. All right, I figured that out 2 episodes ago. Okay, yeah. And then, Vision getting angry. All right, the guns. Wait, no, the guns part. And she did the thing with the guns. I said, oh, spicy. That was spicy.
Yeah.
And then, Vision, and then that was like what, the last 4 minutes of the show. So like 20, 18, 19 minutes or whatever that I've been watching was just man until the last 3 or 4 few minutes of the show. It didn't really get my interest, but that's because I'm expecting this already.
Mhm.
So I'm feeling I'm gonna need some end credit level
spicy.
Yeah, end credit level spice to really get my attention. And it's not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all. This is an amazing show, and I'm glad that it's out. And I like the way that the new phase is beginning. I'm just, I watched almost 22 movies in about 14 days, and I'm with it. So and those movies last was over a span of 10 years or so. So like I'm just being impatient, and while I'm stuck in the house, losing my mind, with no human interaction, watching nerdy things and, trying to make videos or
I
whatnot.
get you. So it's like that mid-season hump. Like you've expected
Mhm.
this, and now things are slowly unfolding. But it's like, no, now you got to give it to me. We're at that
Right.
point because we only have
Right.
what 3 episodes left? 6,
Mm.
7, and 8. Yeah, like things
It,
have
it
to
just
hit.
it just feels to me that, like, not you guys. I don't, based off of what we're talking about. I'm not saying you guys, but I think that a good portion of the people that are like, I like my camera out. Like, oh, WandaVision, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this show, it's so amazing. What's going on right now? This is crazy. Like, relax. Not that serious.
I mean, it's better than all the people going, "Oh
Well,
my god, I can't watch this. What is going on? This is horrible. I
I
don't
mean,
understand
because
it."
it's definitely getting better from that, but
Which we knew it would be. Like we trusted them. Like to Jay's point, let it ride. Like, and now to that point, I get like I just hope, and I don't think this will happen, that something like the ending is not what it should be. That would be fucking horrible.
so if they don't go with, spoiler alert, although this is pure conjecture, but nonetheless, so if they don't go with Mephisto is controlling Wanda and she's the reason she was able to have kids with a synthezoid like Vision, and then somehow that all gets ripped away, which then puts her through this huge, mental event that really, you know, affects her to the point to where, like, she brings about the House of M reality or no more mutants. So is that what you think this is going to progress, at least going as far as Mephisto being the villain here and why things are happening the way they
I
are?
mean, I think so. Would I be disappointed? I mean, I'd be disappointed, but it won't make me hate it. Like, I just want to make sure at the end of this show, I want to see the MCU changed forever because that's what you expect from something with her doing this shit. And one thing I wanted to toss out too, I don't know if you guys heard it, they also talked about a very smart scientist, space scientist. They kind of all but name
Aerospace.
dropped again.
Yeah.
So if we don't get the Fantastic Four out of this, which I'm also throw back to, and I didn't mention this, it was just a theory. The cosmic waves that she's using and giving off are exactly what causes them to get their powers in the
Yeah,
comics.
CMBR.
So we better. And I'd be very disappointed if we don't have mutants by the end of the show.
Well, and that's what I wanted to touch on. I know, I don't know, Jay's having technical difficulties.
I'm here. It's
okay.
just my camera is not working anymore.
Oh, bummer.
I'm just trying to not fuck with it.
Raise your pen pan.
Okay.
Right.
But like, Jay, thinking, hey, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it and kind of being impatient. I guess the reason why I'm kind of trying to absorb as much information as possible, like every moment of this series is suspenseful to me because at any moment we could pop off with the X-Men, mutants, or the Fantastic Four. There's just a lot of fucking things that can come about here, and you're just waiting for, what's going to happen next. So, it's not action heavy or anything like that, but I'm still thrilled by it and very, very interesting. My only complaint was the CGI on Vision while he was floating. That whole scene, at some point I was like, is she doing something to him? But no. Yeah, I mean, it really was like, I don't know what.
Like the Deadite from Evil Dead 2.
I mean, this is Marvel. I know they can do good CGI, so I don't know what was tripping
There's
them up there.
Another point that I was just thinking of when we were talking about the children and how she really doesn't have influence on the children. And Vision brought this up himself. He's like, where are all the rest of the children in town?
Yeah.
So, and here's another thing, like, can she just not control children though? Or like, what happened to the children? Where are the children?
They're in her closet.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a Halloween episode coming up, So something tells me
That's a fair point.
I think it's just a big strain on her because remember she oh, how could I possibly be in charge of all this? And it's like, and I'm like, oh wait, no, okay, she's not making all these kids because if she does, then she's got to fucking deal with all that. So she's
That's a
trying to be
very
as
good point.
minimalist
Does
as
she just have
possible.
some people just sleeping places, or
Yeah,
like they're just knocked out or locked up, or like, you know, like she just said, how can I possibly be controlling all these people? But she kind of
that's
is.
exactly what it sounds like
So,
she is doing.
because, you know, the one guy's like, you know, Norm is like, you know, she's in my head. She, you know, she's causing pain. And, you know, Monica said the same thing as, you know, she was in my head, essentially controlling me. So where are the kids and the people that, you know, she can't control?
Right. Well, and then the mailman, we know they're chasing after the dog. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, your mom won't let him get far." And it's like, "Oh,
Right.
okay."
Almost like
So,
they're kind of like self-aware if they're not, but like it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is. It's like they all
and if
know
she
she's
could
the
control
one.
the dog, then how'd she let the dog eat the
Yeah,
freaking flowers? Or did she just not want the kids to have the dog?
That's what I was under the impression of. Didn't give a fuck about them kids having no goddamn dog.
right.
I want no dog.
I wonder if maybe it's kind of building into her coming unraveled, where she's starting to lose grip in certain areas, and then that's going to put more strain, and then kind of lead us up to where we're going. Because
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to mention, so to your point, D, you're waiting for it. You want the X-Men. How is that possible? Well, thinking about it, do you guys notice everything she's done inside, as we talked about, comes out the way it was? So if all that energy explodes, all those generations that she went through becomes reality.
Yeah.
So she could theoretically cause the X-Men or the X gene and then implant it in all those time periods, making them in today's world.
Yeah. That could definitely be a possibility.
So it's
And
kind of crazy.
But another thing is, like, and me and Hubs was talking about this because he's like, you know, if that is actually, you know, Quicksilver that they're pulling from the Fox universe, he was like a teen when they did the back in time shit.
The 70s, I think, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Because he was disco-ish kind of.
So like he should be way much older.
Right. Yeah.
Because this is what they jumped to the 90s in this episode. So I mean, theoretically, if he was a teenager, he'd only be mid-30s like me.
Yeah, I still don't think it's that actual. I think Jelly's right there that that doesn't exactly work out. And again, that Fox one was an American kid. He wasn't from Sarkovia.
And can we talk about Monica real quick?
Sure.
I'm surprised nobody talked about it. They are so headstrong in her super abilities. Did anybody catch all of her tests, everything? They couldn't scan her brain, nothing. And in the comics, she becomes Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So with her going through that force field and that blast, they could end up causing her to actually get abilities.
Yeah, I'm wondering when we'll get to see something like that. I mean, she definitely seems to be talented in a lot of ways, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see it though. Absolutely. I don't know if it's going to be in this series or.
That's the after credit scene.
Yeah. Then what did you think about the commercial?
That was so fucked up.
Yeah,
I didn't know the reference to that one.
So the
Like,
name of the paper towels, Ilago, that was the city where Wanda was responsible for killing those Wakandan aid workers when Crossbones went to kill Captain America by doing a suicide bomb, and then she stopped him and flew him up in the air, but then it killed all those people up in the building. So that city has the same name as those paper towels. And it even referenced like about cleaning up messes, that you didn't mean to make. And it straight looked like blood, by the way, when they were like wiping it up. So it was a pretty dark, each one of those commercials represents just some sort of mind fuck for Wanda. And that one so far was the deepest, darkest, because I'm sure, that's something that she
And it's
she
crazy.
hates.
Like, I wonder, like, and I mean, this is kind of getting into the weeds a little bit, but these commercials, obviously, she's creating them because it's in her world. Like, is that her guilt
Either
and her
her or
nightmares kind of pushing
Mephisto.
out? Like, it's insane.
We'll get more answers. So
But another thing is, with all these different freaking timelines and multiverses, and obviously Doctor Strange had to look through a bunch of them, and it's like, there was only one where we won. What if she somehow is dragging, the X-Men from one of those multiverses?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly how it could go down.
God, there's so many theories because you can even look back to Endgame, where they were talking about pulling the stones, and they mentioned that each time you pull a stone out of its timeline, it starts creating a new multiverse.
Yeah, yep.
And I think it was Jay a couple weeks ago mentioned, like, well, if we go back in time, see Chris Evans, did he put all the stones back where they were supposed to? Did he put them back in the right time? Like, we
What
don't
about the
know
fact that
what,
Loki
like,
ran off with the Tesseract?
bingo. Like, there's so much shit.
Yeah, the floodgates are open for the multiverse. Yeah, that Doctor Strange movie is going to be interesting to say the least. If this is any
The first one was
indication.
even really fucking nuts if you actually pay attention to it. That's the one I'm watching next. I'm excited. That's
Yeah.
when that one came out, I accidentally fell asleep. My
I
dude
was
was like,
surprised.
dude, we're gonna get super baked. Because I had one tickets. I had one tickets for the movie.
Yeah.
But my dude was like, dude, I'll go with you, man. I gotta see all the Marvel movie, and you getting like really early tickets. I was like, yeah. He's like, dude, I'm gonna go. We'll smoke up. Dude, I was so baked, man. I got in a bitch. I fell asleep. I don't even know when.
That's a
dude.
crazy
I think
movie to.
right after he got his powers, I woke up and he was already doing the Mamamoo, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
Oh, damn! So you missed all like the 3D world.
Yeah,
and shit.
I missed like most of it. So like,
Jelly's eyes.
when I ended up be able to watch it like for real, I was like, "Oh, that shit was dope." You know what I mean?
But it's very underrated, actually. Out of all those movies,
the movie is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's underrated, but I don't know anyone that says it's not good. I think it's very, very good. I
don't think people get it.
Yeah, I think them going Dormammu first was a bit of a gamble, but I think it worked. And it shows how clever Doctor Strange is. Speaking of underrated, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I actually just fucking watched that over the weekend.
Really?
And well, okay, so here's how you judge just a movie. Forget about Marvel superheroes, but like literally when a movie is on and my 12-year-old that does nothing about bitch about being bored sits the fuck down, shuts the fuck up and watches the movie, I'm like, okay, this is a good movie. Like, and I mean it was. I'm just saying though, but that I'm just like literally
parenting 101.
He doesn't shut the fuck up about how bored he is, even though he's got 10,000 more options than I ever had as a kid. But nonetheless, he shut his ass up, sit down, and watch the movie. Like the whole family did. I just put it on because I'm like, fuck it. I ain't got nothing to do right now. I haven't seen this movie. I don't even know how Ant-Man was stuck in the quantum realm.
I was about to say, I was like, yeah, that's it's a huge one.
And just all of a sudden, one by one, the wife comes in, Rourke comes, then they just sit down and watch it. So I'm like, this is a good movie. So anyway, but you're right, Jay. Doctor Strange though it is. It's not given as its due because it was cool. Cool in the gang. Well, another cool thing that's happening, of course, is the Blade movie, and we know that the actor wanted in, and so that's we've had Blade for a while, but now we also have We now know that it's going to be written by Stacy Osei Kuffour. Probably screwed that up, but and of course, she is African American, which the article points out, which is
I read
great.
that what's his face actually like really pushed for her to do it. The guy that was cast as Blade.
Well, that's always a good sign, you know, if the actor and the director are vibing. So yeah, no, that so you know that's in development, and we're starting to get some more pieces of key information. So we've got the writer, and
I have a funny story about Blade that happened this weekend.
oh wow, what's up?
So, we were playing a game called Blockbuster, and it looks like an old Blockbuster, cassette case, like
Okay,
that had a
yeah,
VHS in, and it's a card game, and essentially, there's head-to-head questions, and you have two teams, and two people have to name off, back and forth whatever the topic is. So one of them was name zombie movie. So one person names it and it goes back and forth, and whoever's last gets to get cards. So you have 6 cards and each one has a movie on it. Now you have to pretty much try to get the rest of your team to guess out the movie. So one, you have 3 different options. So one is you get to say one word about that movie to get somebody to guess it. One is you can say a quote, and one is you have to act it out. So you take what 3 cards you want, and then you give the other 3 to your opponent, and that's why you did head to head, so that you're picking the ones that you can do.
mm-hmm.
Well, to go back to Blade, my mom acted out Blade, and she's like, and I'm like, she's like getting angry at that point, chopping. She's like, no, Blade. And I'm like, okay, Mom.
She should have chose the remember when those cops were shooting at him and he turns around and he goes, "Motherfucker, you out of your goddamn mind?" Like that or why some motherfuckers always got to ice skate uphill. That's my favorite movie line in history. Is that right there? That's instantly takes me to Blade.
It's a very, very fun game.
Ah, that sounds
For sure.
fun. That sounds fun. Actually, interesting fact in the history of D Square, I own a black leather trench coat. I've had it for quite some time. It costed me like $500. That was before the wife and children, of course. But I've always kept it, and I don't get to wear it a lot because you get made fun of when you do. But nonetheless, when I do wear it, people are always like, "Oh, Matrix," and I'm like, "Nope." Nope, I bought this because of Blade. Blade's the reason why I bought my trench coat. I did not. I had
Well,
mine.
you're forgetting one huge fact that you also have the Blade katana as well.
I do also have a replica of the sword. I like Blade a lot.
Oh my.
I was
I
actually
very much
looking
enjoyed
into.
that
I
movie.
want to get. I didn't actually think these existed, but they do. Because I've actually. So like katana was my favorite sword, but I'm now leaning more toward a broadsword actually being the best sword. So I actually started to look into tactical broadswords, and there's actually a tactical broadsword that I'm gonna buy. It's like $200, but it's
Are you trying to be
sweet.
guts?
No, because it's really not even that big. But I do want a tactical blade. Listen, man, this world,
Zombies.
right? I got the 9mm. I
Your arms
got
are
the
getting
M4
tired, man.
carbine. But if I run out of bullets, you're
Do you have
gonna
enough stamina to swing that sword for that long? You need to start pumping some iron.
when well, that was back in my heyday. When I the size of that sword, it's not gonna give me trouble. It's not that big, but it is cool. Nonetheless,
But
weaponry
you think
aside,
about it, after a while of chopping, you're gonna get tired.
yeah, no, you sure no, I believe me. I used to
Work out
practice
them
with a
arms. 1,
wooden
2,
katana,
3.
like you believe me. After
I
it
seen some
seems
guy on a
easy.
treadmill do that. He was just like running with a sword.
Well, that's a bit much, but
When you do the
I'll do
Naruto
that on
run.
my treadmill. Yeah, I'll do the Naruto. Um,
Uh,
enough about my Blade stuff. So here's something I
Blade's
thought.
just regular to me. I mean, I understand
Yeah.
he's like, first blah 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 blah. I get all that, but like movie wise, it's just it's good. I fuck with it. Dang Iron Man, but it's good.
Well, and I guess that's my perspective. Is this is before Iron Man, so I was like, this is fucking cool. Like,
well,
I don't know.
basically, he also saved Marvel
Yeah, he
or
did.
helped save it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's dope. Fuck with it. It's
I
just
love those movies, except the third one, but
serious.
it's got a little bit of quality to it.
Fucking Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, I'm kind of surprised to learn this, particularly since supposedly this actor Dwayne Johnson, which you may know from WWE.
I don't know who that guy is. Who that?
Yeah, The Rock. He is looking like he may be headed to Deadpool 3. Now he's heavily involved with the Black Adam stuff, so I was just surprised to see that there's a possibility, because this is not confirmed, but I don't know, he may be going to Deadpool 3.
Marvel poaching the motherfuckers. I'm telling you, DC
Well,
needs to get their head out of their ass. I mean, he's only been linked to Black Adam for what, 10 years?
yeah, really, it really has been that long. There was a rumor they might change the name of that character to Shaz Adam, but that's not happening. Yeah.
Jelly, it's basically Shazam with the lightning bolt, but he's like, it's all black with a white lightning bolt.
Yeah.
I like Shazam better though.
Black Adam's cool. He's an anti-hero. The cool thing about both Shazam and Black Adam, though, is they can go toe to toe with Superman. Like, they're not.
Black Adam, even though he's a villain, though, another cool thing is he kind of has his own. Was it Kondak? It's an island where any superhuman can live there, and he doesn't roll over them, but you don't fuck with his people.
Yeah.
Like, he will take you down. So that's kind of where he gets like that anti-hero, but in reality, he's a fucking villain.
Yeah. So as far as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson goes here, I'm having a hard time thinking of like who they could possibly cast him as Deadpool. Unless they maybe make him strong guy, I could kind of see that. I don't know.
I don't know. It'd be kind of. I can't picture anything because I was like, we already have Cable.
Yeah.
Can he be? I mean, can he be? Does it say if he's a villain or hero?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't say at all what.
What's his face? Black X-Men. I can't think of his name.
Bishop?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I want for Bishop, though, in an X-Men movie? Like, I liked Bishop in Days of Future Past. Like, that was cool. Because Bishop's awesome. But I want the full-blown, like, 90s Jerry Cool Bishop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want them to be that brave. Like, do it. It'll be awesome.
They can do it. No, I'm not too up on Bishop. He's technically from the future, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he's from
He's from like the Age of
Cable's
Apocalypse.
future.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or
Yep. His whole thing is that if you shoot him with any sort of energy, he can just take it and shoot it right back at you.
Yeah, which you could see during Days of Future Past when he's going against the Sentinels.
Yeah.
Where he's like, hit me, and he's just fucking like...
Yeah, he's awesome. He's fucking cool. He's one of the Marauders right now.
I watched Deadpool 2 recently, too.
Oh, yeah? That's like my favorite movie ever.
Oh, man. I have thing to do.
That's so good, though.
I love it.
That's good.
I wonder if they're going to keep him as Cable.
They have to.
I mean, he won't be used as Thanos anymore, so they might as well keep him.
I thought he did a great job as Cable.
Calm down, Thanos. That was probably my favorite line.
That and when Deadpool, he climbs on top of Juggernaut, like puts his two swords in there, and he's like, "Hey, big guy, sun's getting low." You know, he's trying to do the whole
Oh
thing.
yeah, that one too. Oh, that was good.
So yeah, interesting to see if that actually pans out. Outside of that, what else do we have? What else did I mention here? Oh yeah. So, Wakanda TV show is coming to Disney Plus from the Black Panther director. I imagine it's not going to have the Black Panther. So let's see. Coogler is currently in the midst of writing the script for Black Panther 2, the highly anticipated sequel to the groundbreaking 2018 film. The tragic passing of franchise lead Chadwick Boseman has forced a major reshuffling in how Marvel will proceed with the film. It's clear that Boseman will not be recreated in CGI or recast, but beyond that, little is known about Black Panther 2. So it's also not giving any detail here about, you know, what we'll get in this show. But there's a lot that you could do here and it not
It can be based around Shuri.
Right, it can be based around Shuri, Okoye, you know, anything. So there's a lot that they could do to work there.
I mean, even in the past, I think that'll be kind of cool to like go through like his dad and what his dad went through, kind of led into Killmonger and all that. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's a whole background that they can do of it.
But I
Something
think it's
fresh.
great though. I mean, especially, you know, obviously Jay, you know, refers to it as Black Christmas, and
Black Christmas.
and there's a good reason for that. I mean, it's ultra positive images of, you know,
Literally watching
African
it right now.
cultures, varying African cultures, which is cool. You got to see a little bit of each, so it's ultra positive, cool looking stuff that, you know, a lot of minority children, and, you know, even white kids too, but, you know, it's just positive shit that they can look at. So anything that keeps that just in, you know, keeps that out there. If they have a whole TV show now that we can all get behind, then that's cool. I like that a lot.
And the way I also look at it, it's like world building too. They
Mhm.
didn't really world build Wakanda too much.
Exactly. They didn't.
Oh,
They
he
really
was
didn't.
in, what, 4 movies?
Just little snippets, you know.
I
So-
mean, didn't they kind of towards the end open up their borders a little bit more
Right.
to start giving aid and whatnot to the rest of the world? It could really be, you know, technology wise, medical wise, of really building up the rest of the world and, you know, the universe. You know, obviously he can't really interact with Stark because, you know, he's gone. But, you know, with his
Yeah.
industries and things of that, you know, what about the small child? Like, what sort of intelligence does she have?
Yeah. Exactly.
If there's anything that I don't like about Black Panther, or that I'm I guess kind of like skeptical about, and I'm watching keenly, is what is going to happen with Wakanda opening up. Because from a African point of view, I understand why they did all that. From a Black American point of view, like, you know, what, you know, Black Christmas was about, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, fuck y'all. Like, what do you mean? Over there help you for what? You know what I'm saying? And then when you factor in Killmonger and the points that he was making, I mean, what Killmonger represented to me was I guess like what white America believes of Black people. That's the one reason why Killmonger being like as a popular character as he is, for like his, especially on in the community, for like his point of view, kind of not necessarily worries me, because it's not like oh, you know, John's a coward or whatever. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you study white supremacy as much as I do, and you pay attention to these things as much as I do, and you're trying to find solutions as much as I do, then you're going to realize that, you know, when we talk about these things, one of the things that white people fear a lot is revenge, right? And that's what Killmonger represented, the revenge that Wakanda wasn't really about, even if they were to open up the borders. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But knowing how, again, going through a book that talks about where racist ideas came from and how they persist and all that kind of stuff like that on stream. This is one of those thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, Killmonger's not wrong, but at the same time, like, I want to see what they show Wakanda doing when they open it up, and if it's what I think it's going to be, they actually are going to, Disney itself is actually going to be making a counterintuitive point to the way they do business, which is what I'm waiting for. I'm hoping that they step, on their own toes by showing, a civilized African civilization that is civilized because it's always been fucking civilized, and white man never got their hands on the shit. You know what I mean? And when given the opportunity to share that with the world, they share it with the world. And that's what Black nationalism is about. That's what Black liberation theory is. That's what Black radical politics are about. That's all that is. So, all right, go ahead. Go ahead putting that Black nationalism in your Black Panther capitalist TV show. Go ahead. I want you to. And then if they don't, then fuck that show. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's a very important moment that, like, again, I didn't really think we are gonna go this route, but I just wanted to make my point clear that, like, you know what I'm saying, this is Black Christmas, and the way this corporation does these things that, especially again, if you study what this stuff is, I can recognize as the idea that vibranium, the world's greatest, element on Earth, is in an African country like this, and have it with it like that in and of itself is deep, especially for what Stan Lee is and what the X-Men were and what all that stuff is. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I don't know. I just want people to kind of keep a close eye, or I'm keeping a close eye, and I want it to be known that I'm keeping a close eye and that's why I want phase whatever to progress, because I want to see what they do.
Want to see what they
with
do
Wakanda, because Wakanda is going to be the most important place.
Yeah, that's interesting. That really is. You're right. That really is a striking metaphor that can teach us a lot, and that's interesting. So, you're saying you want to see this come through. You want to see them share those resources.
I want to see them show Black nationalism.
Okay.
In full effect. I want them to show it. I don't think they will, and that's what's going to be disappointing.
You're right.
It might even taint my view of the MCU on how they do, what happens. But I think what it's going to be is a nefarious force. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be some Killmonger ass nigga that was in the army.
I'll tell you exactly. No, they've already got it. Okay, Namor fucks with Wakanda, and when I mean fucks with Wakanda, that's true. I don't mean like, hey, I fucks with them, like a good thing. Like he has hit Wakanda hard. So to Jay's point, they could be on this road of, okay, we're going to share these resources with the world, people that look like us, that are oppressed and over policed. But then they might pull back. Right, yeah. But they might pull back because they may come across Atlantis or piss off Namor, and he may hit Wakanda with a tidal wave. And that might cause them to pull back or have to pull back and get the defenses up. I don't know. But
he was the rumored to be the villain too, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, and that's what he could be in this. This show could be about
I thought
them.
The show was coming out before the
movie.
Yeah, they probably reshuffled the movie, and I'm assuming the show's probably going to set up what the movie will be about now.
I think that's what they all are.
And it can even be like the show setting up, they can, whether it's right or wrong, they can portray his death off screen, and now what are they going to do? They don't have their king, they don't have their protector, and the show can rebuild like how they're going to survive, and then go into the movie instead of just going, hey, here's Black Panther 2. Oh, by the way, here's your new lead.
Yeah.
What I'm still waiting though is when they were talking about Shuri moving to America to open up her own tech area, and they just kind of just left that off.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be something that they pay off as well. You know, Wakanda to me does present, in my eyes, and I won't go too far into this. Maybe we talk about this another day, but Wakanda to me presents a large kind of plot hole to the movie Civil War to me. Knowing what we know about Wakanda, the technology they have, how protective they are of their king, how the fuck did they let King T'Chaka die? Like, that just does not seem like something they would remotely let happen. Like, whether he have some sort of protective suit on.
From an IT dude who's just mad because his family died.
Right. Right. So, anyway, that's all I'm saying. I know everyone likes Civil War, the movie, and I do too, but to me, that's actually unbelievable that he would get fucked up somehow like that.
I don't. I'm very consistent with my Captain America hate. Don't like it.
Right.
Fuck Cap. Why didn't you just tell Tony, fam? You could have ended all this. It made Tony right. It made Cap like the only thing I like about Civil War is it made Cap wrong. Made Cap right. He was right. He was vindicated, but then the whole win just got thrown away. And it's not even because I'm an Iron Man fan. It's mainly because I just watched it like literally an hour ago, 2 hours ago at this
Gotcha.
point. But because it's like fresh in my mind. I literally just watched it. Tony, like I was on Tony's side immediately. Fuck Bucky, bro. He's gonna let this dude ride out. He choked my mom to death, fam. Fuck you. And you knew. And you didn't even tell me. All right, bet.
They did do a good job of setting that all up in that movie. They really did. But the whole like King T'Chaka dying, just like you said, just some fucking angry dude. That's not going down like that.
It wasn't like T'Challa was the Black Panther, even though T'Chaka was king. T'Challa is Panther, so
right.
I think that insight might be. I was wondering that myself, but
he had passed on the role of Black Panther, but you'd still think the Wakandan king would have some sort of protective measures that would, fire, we can't deal with that in Wakanda. Like, no, they easily can. But anywho, I can go on about that. Before we get out of Marvel here, as we move along, they did pitch a Jimmy Woo series. I don't know if that's necessary. To me, it seemed like another Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, but as we discussed pre-show, he definitely is intertwined in the Marvel comics and has been on some teams there and overall a popular character. So something
There's
you're excited
one difference
about
there, though. This would actually be overseen by Feige and actually part of the MCU, not
that's for sure.
part.
Yeah.
So I think they could see what went right and what went wrong with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Do we need any more movies?
Kinda...
I mean, I'm just going to break in with that, actually. And just, do we actually need MCU movies?
I'm going to leave that up to Jay.
What?
I mean, with this, with Disney Plus and these shows just being as intertwined and as well done as the movies we've saw so far, do we really think Disney is going to go back to releasing Marvel movies in the theaters? I mean, do they really have to?
Oh, I mean,
they make and bank on their freaking subscriptions with all these shows.
I'm sure they're gonna do some when COVID finally is over in the next 2.5 years. But it's not gonna matter. Give me my motherfucking movies.
Yeah.
I don't care where it's at. I don't care if it's on the phone. I don't care if it's Roku.
Right.
I don't care if I gotta get Apple Music. Give me my goddamn movies.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry,
I think
I'm not getting Apple Music.
Apple Music is pretty nice.
Listen, I would if they're like the only way that you could watch Black Widow is you got to get an iPhone. I'm about to get me an iPhone 4 off of eBay right quick or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm about to watch my Scarlet.
I guess, I guess as long as it's making monies in the theater, I mean, they're gonna make the money. It's what they do. But I guess if society at large does get superhero fatigue and stop seeing it in the movies, I guess we got a safe home at the Disney Plus app. But
Yeah, I still want the movies though. Like
you
I
do.
love the shows, but I can't go week to week 20 minutes. Like I give me some long like
Mm,
material. Now if they dive in to do some 45-hour like Netflix, that
okay.
just opened your eyes there, Jelly. Um I just I just don't think they could survive with 20-minute episodes for every bit of content that they do.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I would be perfectly happy. I truly would. In
We're
fact, I
gonna have
was
45-minute episodes
yeah,
then.
or hours. Or hours. And I was actually really sitting down today and examining, my love of comics and really asked myself, like, why, with what we can do on TV shows and movies now with the comics, what, why do you read comics? What got you into it? And the, the question, or the answer to that question is, as a kid, you didn't see anything like these images anywhere else, not in cartoons, not in movies, not in TV shows. So that's what originally got me and a lot of others into comics, is these
Well, sometimes we did get a couple diamonds in the rough, like with the 90s X-Men and the 90s Spider-Man,
yeah,
but
correct.
they
In
were
the
very far
90s,
between.
exactly. In the 90s, you're right. We did start to get some of that, but like in the 80s, outside of some Spider-Man and his Amazing Friend cartoons and
God.
Superman and the Amazing Friends and all that shit, like you didn't see this like crazy imagery anywhere else. And nowadays, we can have that same crazy imagery wherever we need it, whether it's in video game, TV show, movies, and everything. So I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about. Like, do I really actually? Because let's face it, I'm not super happy where the X-Men are right now. The Powers, House of 10, Powers of X stuff was interesting, but I'm not exactly. I don't know. I'm not feeling a strong compulsion like I do a lot when to get that next X-Men issue. But nonetheless, um, but we can get all that crazy shit right there on our screens. And
I mean, it's just like, for anybody that reads, like I love the Harry Potter movies, but I love the books more.
yeah,
You know, the material, whether comics, you get the short phrases, you're still going to get unique situations that we may never see. We're going to get versions of characters that we may never see. I love the MCU, but almost none of those characters outside of Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Widow or and Hulk are very comic accurate.
yeah.
But Wanda, she doesn't even, first of all, doesn't go by Scarlet Witch.
I know
Her
they even
outfit,
said something
Like
like
you
that
don't have a
too.
code name, you
yeah,
don't like a name, and it's like you're not even gonna actually give her
Yeah,
name. I
I
was
thought
kind
they
of really
were.
mad about that. Like I was like, "Come on, say it." Say
I wonder if she'll get it based
You
off of
didn't
what
say it.
happened. Like when shit goes crazy, like that's maybe why
You're
she'll
a
get dubbed
witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't
but
know.
no, I just it's just like if you read books, whatever. It's a different content. You can get stories. Looking at the images, like you can actually kind of put it your mind into it. Like you can live into another world. Like movies can do the same thing, but you're actually
Yeah,
watching shit play out. Like this, you're like comic book. You see conversation. You have to use your imagination to see kind of like how the rest of the conversation's gonna go. Because comics kind of all over the place, scene to scene,
right.
like so.
Remind me, we're going to talk someday about how like manga is killing it in America and the comics aren't, and why that is.
Mangas are exciting. Comics are not really that exciting.
Well,
Because it's a book.
well,
It goes on my shelf better than the comics. I have to pack them and board them and
yeah. Well,
book.
we'll have this conversation, but to me, it all comes down to the fact, and I didn't know this actually until recently, but yeah, like if you write a manga, like you write that manga. Like in comics, like you write 5, 10, 20 episodes, sometimes 100 if you're, Tom
There's
King or,
about 3 episodes per manga, like
yeah.
compared
Yeah,
to
they're like
comics.
But the
chapters.
So
writer
if I
stays
have
there. The writer stays the whole
But the,
time.
but the biggest thing about it is they're original.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like America just recycles everything all the time because they don't have any creativity or originality.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can tell that
It's
with all the
it's
remakes.
easier to just maintain a brand for 100 years than
Yeah.
And that kind of goes to your point too, D. Like what Jay's saying is it's original, and creators, writers get known for a certain style of manga that they do. But if a creator gets ill, is done, or dies, they usually stop it. Like it won't continue. It's
Yeah.
Marvel, DC. It's like, oh well, Tom King. We don't like where you're going, so we're going to hire Tinian, and you can just go do whatever you want mid Batman. Like,
Yeah, they're all just properties and brands. That's the thing. So I don't know. We may have a deeper discussion about
I mean,
that.
yeah, we can even go further that people are contracted to companies now. Like you can only make content for DC or Marvel, which is now becoming a big thing when you're talking like Bensi, or I think it was
Bendis.
Bensi, was it?
Bendis.
Bendis leaving, and now he's kind of like an open contract. He goes to work whoever he wants. So I think we're going to be in a different realm here from a comic standpoint in the next 5 to 10 years, and it's going to be interesting. But yeah, that manga comic, I think that can be a interesting argument.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move forward with some stuff here from DC real quick. We're gonna touch on a couple things here that we learned about the Snyder Cut since we last talked about it. So another reoccurring theme on the show is Snyder Cut talk. So we have learned really, well, let's just say it. The damn thing's gonna be rated R.
Batman gonna be tapping Wonder Woman, I'm telling you.
Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Batman.
I think we get to see Batman drop the F-bomb. Like, I think that was one of the original cut Snyder scenes. I'm cool with Batman being like, fuck this shit. Like,
as long as he dies some way, that'd be dope.
my
JD Oliva hates this as well. He commented on the
it's
Twitter
gonna
post
be
there.
I want to know why it's rated R. Like, I really want to know why.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
But that's not even what I'm mad
Yeah.
about. Your point 2 is what I'm mad about. Like, I'm going to throw my desk if they ruin this again.
So the Joker, we've also learned a little bit about. We got a blurry image on Twitter of the Joker, of course, Jared Leto playing him. But yeah, we got a blurry image of what he's going to look like.
No, we don't need more Leto Joker. No. You know what they could have did? They could have easily went and just said, hey, Phoenix, we want you to just fill in as a cameo. We don't need this grill wannabe fucking Takashi 619 type shit Joker.
Did you see the image though?
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to retcon it and make him look potentially like Ledger.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, that looks like they're trying to do Ledger. I mean, yeah, it's a blurry image. It looks like Doink a little bit to me. Anyone remember Doink the clown from World Wrestling Federation? So I don't know. We'll see.
Oh my god.
IGN's Twitter has that. So, but Jared Leto, we see the card clearly. He's got a Joker card. So I'm the Joker. You know I am.
This will single-handedly make me hate this movie if they do this wrong. I can't stress how bad I hate that fucking Joker.
I'm with you. And the whole rated R thing, that's just ridiculous. So we'll leave
rated R because they're just gonna all circle jerk it.
The Justice
On Wonder
League circle
Woman.
jerk.
There you go.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh my god! Like Wonder Woman Bukkake.
Amazonian Bukkake, yeah. Hey, fuckers, you're the ones making a rated R Justice League, so this is what you're going to have to deal with. We seeing Wonder Woman tits? What? Batman ass? What is it?
Oh, here, take my lasso.
Batman,
tray.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, so now we're doing BDSM
You're
in
right.
the Justice League.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
only
seen
way.
something like that
Invisible
once.
Jet.
Gonna see
It
some...
was the only Wonder Woman I liked.
If it's 50 shades of Wonder Woman, then maybe
50
I'll watch
Shades
that
of,
shit. But
50 Shades of Wonder Woman, yeah.
I'm
50
cool.
Shades of Amazon.
Borderline porn. Might have to up
I
the
mean,
rating.
Amazonian porn, I'm down. Let's go. But Wonder Woman as a movie, because it's DC and it already got trash reviews, and like
Oh,
I'm just
really?
gonna
So
watch it and
no.
just be mad because I
Don't.
know of
You
that
will
one
be.
scene. I know of
Just don't
that
watch
one
it.
scene, and then like just even from just a historical standpoint, it's so that was why would you why and I just heard the
Yeah.
description of it, like why. And that's what I'm so afraid of when it comes to Black Panther, that they're gonna do some fucking stupid ass shit like that. The history of even with like Gal Gadot's like or whatever her name is, her fucking like controversy from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like why? Why would you do that? Like you could have just used a whole different country or
Movie
like
is so
whatever,
bad.
but you didn't. Okay, all right. I'm never gonna see that movie.
I don't think Feige will ever let something like that happen. This movie is so
I hope
fucking bad.
I hope not. That
So
was just-
bad.
There's just the description. Like somebody was like, I was like, "Did you see it?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Describe it to me." They described it, and I was like, "I'm never gonna watch that fucking movie, dude. Never. I'm never gonna watch that movie."
Like, if it
Yeah.
wasn't for what's his face,
I
would've
saw
been
like
bored
the
out of
first
my mind.
hour, and I feel bad because my mom was like, "Did you watch the rest?" And
No. Like
Oh,
even
she
the
didn't
first
even
one,
really like
everybody
it.
was just trying so hard to. It's so good. The movie was trash, and then as soon as like near the end where they started doing like the lightning effects, and it just looked like a fucking 2002 fucking I don't know,
yeah.
Beast Wars like episode, like
Hey, whoa, keep East Wars out.
yeah, right. I'm sitting here talking shit about Beast Wars, like it was just a bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. I was rolling with it too. I fucked with it was kind of like the same with the first one. I fucked with the first hour or so when she was getting to know dude or whatever. I was like, okay, I can fuck with this. And then like it just went all the way to the left real fast, like a NASCAR track. And like I don't understand what happened. So DC, like I don't
Yeah,
care.
I'm
Like
just-
that's why I mean I was gonna stay silent, but I
Yeah.
feel that some shit needed to be talked. Okay. Just release your stupid fucking movie. It's gonna be stupid. Okay. And we're all gonna sit here and make fun of it. You're gonna make us wait this long and you're gonna hype this up for it to be so trash. I hope the whole franchise dies because of this.
Well,
If it's that bad, because Superman movie, Man of Steel was great, never followed it. Like you had your opportunity. Man of Steel was great.
Yeah.
You kept my attention. I got the DVD of that shit. I'll watch that shit over and over and over and over and
Yeah.
over again. Where's the other movie? Never made it. All right, cool. So Justice League, trash. Batman movies. Okay. Like
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson, I win.
I would say Batman movies were okay and good until that
Until
movie
you
doesn't
didn't-
exist. That movie
Like
does
I
not
thought they were gonna
exist.
do like a Nightwing Robin type thing where they had that kind of like a cameo at the end. Nothing. You didn't do nothing
Yeah.
with it.
Oh, because
Then
Nolan.
you get fucking Palestinian hurting in the damn movie. Gal Gadot, like, come no.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know what the fuck their
No, I
problem
just
is.
get rid of. I just that's what I think they're holding on to.
This
Is
just
you got to think about it. This is the actual optics. They're holding over your head a recut of a movie that they cut and then shot anyway. And that movie was so fucking trash that they had to get the reshoot to shoot the one that they originally did and that's gonna be trash. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's gonna be trash. So like, DC should not exist after this. That's my hot take. If this DC exists after this, y'all are just consumers of trash, just to consume trash, and y'all should spend your money like with the African People's Socialist Party or some shit and do some real change. Buying Batman comics. Sorry, I just had to get that out.
Yeah, no, you're right. If they keep consuming this shit, you know, we're gonna get like meth teeth from bad trash movies.
It gets even worse. They're rushing to do Wonder Woman 3 after the success of this one.
Successful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, no, in the comics,
I guess it didn't spend much on this movie.
These movies are fucking garbage. Like,
I'm with you. I mean, I like the first Wonder Woman.
You know
I think
that makes me want to actually just watch it so I can.
It's so bad. I regretted my life decisions after that movie.
They just make decisions.
It's like
that don't
when
make sense.
your kid draws something that they think is good, and
Yeah.
then you're like, "Oh, baby, that's so cute," but really it's trash, and you don't tell them it's trash because you don't want to hurt their feelings. So then they're like, "My painting's the greatest painting ever," and that's kind of what I'm seeing this as.
Then there'll be 45 John Stickman still like, my mom says this is shit to this day. You are 30 years old. Go fuck down for old ass, terrible ass comic that like hero is stupid. The villains are more important. Like I don't know.
No, that's
I don't ever keep no cohesive story. And even if you did do a cohesive story, it's just gonna be Apocalypse War. And Apocalypse War was they lost.
Yeah.
I'd rather see that than Justice League.
Oh,
I'm with you. All right, well, let's steer out of DC here and go with some miscellaneous zany stuff here. So this first thing, here's what I want to know, guys. I want to just have some fun here real quick. So I'm going to go around the horn. But before I do, let me give you some context. So Elon Musk says that one of his startups has a monkey with wires going into its brain that's able to play video games. He's quoted as saying, he's a happy monkey. The chief executive officer said. He's also a backer of numerous futuristic projects, including Neuralink Corp, a startup focusing on developing a brain-computer interface, making us androids. He said videos of the plugged-in simians would be released soon, perhaps in about a month. So, my question, and this is coming from a app called Clubhouse. It's a private social app where users host off-the-cuff informal conversations. So that's where we learned all this stuff. So, he's wired a monkey to play video games. So my question, we're going to go around the horn just real quick, is Elon Musk, is he Dr. Robotnik or is he Dr. Wily? Jelly Rose, which one do you pick? Which one is Elon Musk?
Who the heck is Dr. Wily?
From Sonic. He makes all the both of those. So Dr. Wily, of course, is the Mega Man guy. He makes robots and all that, and robot animals.
Okay.
And Dr. Robotnik also takes animals and makes them into robots. So
right.
Is Elon
We've been
Musk.
recently watching Sonic and Tails, the animation. So like the monkey on there is hilarious because he obviously got kicked out, but he's still trying to like appease his master.
Yeah.
Even though that Robotnik made the two twin robots that look nothing alike.
Right.
But like I don't know too much about Mega Man other than, playing it for 5-10 minutes and getting pissed off because I died.
That's Mega Man for you. Jump, shoot, and die.
But I would say probably Robotnik because I have a bigger affinity with that.
Okay, fair enough. Jay, is Elon Musk more of a Dr. Robotnik or Dr. Wily?
He's more of a Dr. Robotnik.
Okay.
I mean, because overall, at the end of the day, I understand how and why people think that he's cool and this, that, and the third or whatever.
All right.
so talented like that, I would figure that they would the world instead of make movies, play video games. But whatever. Whatever floats your, toting the line of being humane. I guess all you want if you want. That's I mean, it is money. But
And he
I
has a
think he's
lot
a
of it.
secret evil
Actually,
I'm gonna
scientist.
try to
he
I'm gonna try to
borrows.
throw my blue friend at him to get some gems right quick.
Right. Right. He actually spends other people's money. That's the crazy thing. Elon Musk gets a lot of people to buy into his concepts, which I mean, he's a smart guy. I'm a fan. All right, well, Volsker, I think Dr. Robotnik wins here. But to you, what we got, Dr. Wiley or Dr. Robotnik?
I'm not going to break this chain totally, Dr. Robotnik here. Like, just some.
Yeah, it's pretty
All I'm
crazy.
going to say, like, this dude needs to calm the fuck down before we get Planet of the Apes here.
Oh no, he's not that type,
Um,
man. He doesn't. He's extra. I mean, honestly, beyond this, though, I mean, obviously we're making fun of it, but Elon Musk really he has good intentions. I'll
Oh, yeah.
say that. So
Like space
Yeah, I
travel.
mean, I
Dude's
and that's where my critique comes in. Like, I understand for the people that are fans of him, like the Tesla car and like the whole idea of that, and like some other things that, especially
his
bigger ideas that
rockets impress me.
into,
The
like,
SpaceX
yeah, and
rockets.
SpaceX and stuff like that. Like that shit is like really interesting. It should spur a scientific revolution or help. So he would be in a name like that would be on that list. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like, I again just with the Robotnik shit, like there's so many other things
Yeah,
that could monkey playing video games is I don't know.
it's pretty
kind of makes me
crazy.
wonder what else does he dabble in.
Well, no,
Yeah.
his whole thing is he is trying to get us to Mars,
Mhm.
and he's also trying to help with the whole emissions thing with the Tesla vehicles. And that's why a lot of rich people, give him money, is because they believe in his mission of getting us off of fossil fuels and getting us to Mars. My whole thing about the Mars thing is if we could colonize Mars, which is going to be a shit show, but if we can do that, it would take less money and effort to fix our Earth. That's actually a point that Neil deGrasse Tyson, that was his counterpoint to kind of what Elon Musk is working on as far as getting us to Mars. Like, it's going to take so much more effort to do that than it would be to just fix this planet.
But think about it this way. You colonize Mars, that's not anybody's property. That's all free real estate, free realty, free, there's no government there. You could do whatever the fuck you want.
That's actually something they've been dealing
You
with about like
could,
who would govern. who.
Okay, this is my planet now.
Yeah, that's gonna work out great. Yeah, it's gonna work out
Anime has
wonderful.
been trying to tell us since 1982.
Yeah, exactly. On a sadder note, Dustin Diamond, as you may remember as Screech from Saved by the Bell, did pass away at the age of 44. So
That shit was nuts. It was like mere days after he announced that he had cancer. Like, it was.
yeah.
And 2021's trying to pick up the torch for 2020. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure. Yeah, that's and he kind of had a checkered history after the show, and we won't get into any of that, but definitely a lot of people. He was a part of their. I didn't like Saved by the Bell. It was literally the show that was on while I was waiting for like something else to come on. Like I was probably waiting for, or no, I think it came on after like the Saturday
Came on to
morning
like the
cartoons.
3:30, 4 o'clock because it
Yeah.
happened a lot after school.
But I think a lot of white kids really enjoyed it. So there you go. Of course, Zach Morris, famous for his, what is now considered to be archaic and huge cell phone, but back in the day, it was how fucking cool he is. He just has a phone. Just wherever he goes, he's just got a fucking phone. But yeah, ain't shit now.
They actually did a sequel on Peacock.
Oh, I'm sure that was great.
Because of that show, I thought all Kellys were hot for like a few years, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. The whole Kelly Kapowski, she was like the hottest girl ever. Until, of course, you saw that striptease movie with Jesse, and then you're like, oh, okay, wait a minute, she is kind of hot. But outside of that,
every one of them was hot.
What was it, Lisa? What that was?
Lisa Turtle.
Yeah, Lisa Turtle. That was a
Bill Screech's woman.
Yeah,
that's in real life, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can keep that over there. She can come over my house.
Right. Compartmentalize that. Speaking of nuts, although I don't think this makes him nuts, but so Ninja, we talked a little bit about him on last week's show. Just kind of learned something real funny. Not real funny, but apparently he quit a Fortnite game because of stream sniping. Now, I'm a little bit of a boomer, kind of a goomer actually, a gamer boomer. So help me understand. What, Jelly, what's stream sniping, Jelly? What is that?
So stream sniping is when you are in a match and somebody who is in the same game as you is watching your stream to see your movements. So, Fortnite's 100 people. Right. So let's say I drop in, okay, let's see if I'm in the same match as Ninja. Oh shit, I'm actually in the same map and match as Ninja. Where is he? I'm going to go shoot him. And that's kind of like what stream sniping is. It's, you might be constantly rejoining matches over and over to see if you can get in the game. And then if you are in the game, you go find him and shoot him because you know his exact whereabouts. Twitch is only, 3-4 seconds behind. So you're going to know where in the map he is, if he's hiding, what he's doing, etc. So, screen sniping is a huge thing with a lot of games as a streamer. Say Daisy, if I'm on a map, I'm going to want to hide what server I'm on. Otherwise, they'll know exactly where I am. Come, take my ship. It works with a lot of different games because, they obviously know your plan, know what your team is. Like if you have a team, what your strategy is. They go, hey guys, I'm watching this guy stream and this is what they're going to do. They're going to try to flank us. So be ready, things of that sort.
Right.
So it sucks because you have to be really ahead. So it seems like maybe he kept getting screen sniped over and over and he quit. Like, I don't know the situation, but essentially he was like, okay, I'm not playing because they keep killing me. When it's like, I guess be a better player.
Can you just imagine somebody like in his chat going, haha, I got you, you fucker. And then all of a sudden,
oh, that's hilarious.
I mean, stream sniping, I'm a boomer too, kind of, but I know what that one is. But stream sniping is for someone who takes, I guess, like the rules of the game, usually in games, like seriously, odds and
I mean, it's
spawn snipers and or whatever the fuck it is. All that shit is just stupid. Like play the game fair, get good or get wrecked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So back on couch multiplayer games, when it split the screen and you and your sibling were playing, how many times did you look over on their side of the screen to see what they were doing?
I don't like to do that. I'm the weirdo. I'm the weirdo. I'm the weirdo.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit. I'll put
of course,
a divider
I was
up,
always focusing on mine because if I'm looking down here, I'm probably running into something.
Duct tape the sheet and have one on the
Yeah, I saw a meme about that the other day where someone had a cardboard cutout and they were sitting under it. But yeah, I know you're exactly right. We used to call them when we used to link up our Xboxes and play Halo and shit. We called it screen watchers. Like, stop being a screen. You're a screen watcher. So now it's you're a screen sniper. It's not stream sniping, but yeah, no, that so lesson learned. If you become a famous streamer and you don't want to get
People are
stream
gonna know what the
sniped,
fuck you're gonna do.
so watch out for that.
I can see it happening sometimes, but I could
Yeah.
understand.
That's a lot of effort to coordinate that, though. What Jelly
He's
went
still
through
getting
as
paid
far as-
millions of fucking dollars to die. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
Do your fucking job.
Exactly. All right, well, there we have it. We have reached the end of the show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us as always. Before we go, let's go around the horn and make sure that you know where you can find each and every Omega level nerd. J100, sir, let's start with you.
You can find me on YouTube, J100 TV. I'm on Twitter at J100. And I'm trying to get into Valheim. So if anybody's trying to survive in a world or whatever, there's a friend of mine that's got a server, but they ran those resources ragged, but whatnot. But yeah, just hit me up. We'll play some games and stream and talk about some shit.
All right, awesome. And Volsker, where can we find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me Twitter at Volsker, Instagram I am Volsker, YouTube still not special enough, so just type in Volsker, you'll see one of my hundreds of videos, and then more importantly, every week here with the Omega Level Nerds.
All right. And Jelly Rose, of course, for those watching the video, can see her link up there. It is. There it is. But otherwise, Jelly, where can we find you?
Well, you can mainly find me on Twitch at Jelly Rose, where I stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And there might be some afternoons here soon, just random. I have my Patreon up now. So that's another thing. You can find that at Jelly Rose. You can find my team and all my teammates at ccteam.net. And then other things like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all right, J3, LLI3, ROS3. I don't really use YouTube too much, but that's still a thing. It's at Jelly Rose. And I also have a blog at jellyrose.blogspot.com.
Awesome sauce. And Volsker, where can we, or did I already do you?
You already did. Cut! D Square, where can we find you?
Of course, you can find me when I'm not suffering from short-term memory loss. Right up there at DSquare72 on Twitter. Check me out. I'll also have a link to my not popular enough to have a custom URL YouTube channel. So if you can help me out with that, that would be great. Currently playing through the Octopath Traveler, so you can check that out there. Of course, I am still doing reviews for superheroespeak.com, so check them out as well. But what I really need from you guys, of course, if you're not already, please go to YouTube, search Omega Level Nerds, and subscribe to our channel if you have not done that already. Of course, we're always going to be available on Podbean or the Apple Podcast app for those that can only do the audio, while you work or something like that. But even more important than that, please go to Twitter at Omega Level Nerds. Please give us a follow there. We're doing decent in the growth, more and more each day, but still have a lot of, room to cover. So please go and help us out with that. Until next time, as always, peace and love. And we'll talk to you soon.